Hey, we're live. Hello, everybody.
Hey guys, how you doing?
We Guppy Guru was in the chat early. Hello, Peter. And then we had Select Pets in here. I'm glad you guys were early. Appreciate it.
Awesome. So, what's going on today, Brian?
Not much. The heat's back here. We've been like mid 70s, no humidity for like the last week. Ever since, and now it's back up in the high 80s, low 90s with humidity again. So I'm dying of heat. What about you?
It's been kind of overcast. I don't know if you can tell. Am I still on?
Yes, you're still on.
Okay, sorry. I was getting feedback, so
Oh, okay.
I clipped it and then I just lost my image.
Ah.
I don't know if you can tell by my face, but I'm like super sunburned.
I'm a little
I fell
pinky.
asleep. I fell asleep on Monday. I don't know where StreamYards is. Oh, StreamYards is up top. There we go. You really can't tell, but I'm like bright red. I was even starting to peel last night because I fell asleep in the pool on Monday.
Oh.
And yeah, that wasn't the smartest thing to do. I thought I was done burning for the year, but
My dad did that.
It's been overcast the rest of the week.
Okay. My dad fell asleep in the pool a couple weeks when my mom got home from work, and she's like, "Do you know he's sleeping in the pool?" I'm like, "I didn't even know he was in the pool." He's in his float, hungover, sleeping.
Yeah. Well, I got like my sister's family got me these giant noodles. They're like this thick, and so I got them like up on my head like a pillow, and then they come up like this. So I've got this bizarre white pattern on me. It's so weird, but oh well. Yeah, it's fine.
Hey, Grumpy Mike is here. Benny, hello. Volant, Petzotics, Diego, welcome.
Wow, we got a whole mess of people.
You're up super early, Benny. Isn't it like 6 o'clock in the morning in New Zealand?
Okay, now I always mess up Benny's name. I always want to say Roland, but it's Rollin, not Rollins.
I couldn't tell you. The only one I know that calls him his first name is Bob.
Ronan.
That sounds right.
There we go.
Hello, William Pridemore. Welcome. Oh, it's 8 a.m. Where are you? Like in Eastern New Zealand, Benny?
I'm surprised there'd be more than one time zone in New Zealand. It's kind of a long up and down state. I mean, country.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought they were 14 hours ahead or 15. I don't know. I'm still trying to remember my Australian time zones again.
If Jesse's 6 hours,
he's behind us, right?
Yeah. I would guess that Benny's 5 hours on that, maybe. I bet he's like 11 hours off from us.
I usually go with in front of if I'm going from right to left. But that's just me. Yeah. Only one. Okay, well, I don't know.
Wait, he said it was 8 a.m.
8 a.m.
And it's 4 p.m.
So it is 14 hours ahead.
We both have gone through college algebra.
I failed it 3 times. Don't look at me for math.
I failed it too, twice.
That's why I changed my major from biology to history.
Oh my gosh.
Hey, Priscilla.
Yeah. That's why I went from cartography to photography.
Glad to have you here, Priscilla.
Hi, Priscilla. I was wondering, was Priscilla in the stream last night? I showed off one of your shrimps.
I can't recall. I was in and out. I was applying for jobs now that I've finished my master's degree.
Awesome. Super smart guy.
Didn't miss applying for jobs, but I don't feel like going back to work in a public school system with what's going on and them not knowing what they're doing yet. I still don't have a start date, and kids go back to school on the 2nd.
Unbelievable. Well, you should get a job here in Tennessee that pays so well that you can just move your whole family.
My dad did want to live in Tennessee at one point.
I bet he'd love to be back.
But I would like to stay up here in New England if I can. But at this point, I think I'm just going to apply everywhere and see where it takes me.
What's in New England worth staying for?
Well, there's New Hampshire, live free or die. Plus, my whole family's up here.
Yeah, I know. But just move on.
Though the fish fam is down there, so it's a win-win, really.
Yeah.
like
we
30%
ask
of
for
the
money.
30% of the fish fam is in frickin' Tennessee.
You know why there's so many people in the fish fam from Tennessee? Because we don't have a club. We don't have anybody to talk fish with. That's why we're all on here talking fish.
We
Seriously.
have one, but I've never looked into it.
I met some cool girls from New Hampshire, or not New Hampshire, from Hartford.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's about an hour and a half, depending on traffic. Well, maybe no, it's more like 45 minutes, but I avoid the big cities.
I met those two girls just 30 years ago.
I wasn't even alive yet, Ed.
I know. Maybe 25 years ago. But I don't even, and I haven't talked to them since that summer. It was a fun summer.
I avoid big cities like the plague. I am not a city slicker.
Yeah.
I should have been born in the South or in rural something somewhere because I am a country boy.
Well, we've got one big city. Well, we got a bunch of big cities, but Atlanta is the monster city.
Yeah, I've only been there for gaming conventions, and I don't go anywhere. I just stay in my hotel room or go to my event.
There's one gaming one that I want to go to. Priscilla, be nice to me. She's so mean. Oh man, thanks, Priscilla. No, there's one gaming convention I want to go with that Sean Peck goes down to. It's a board
Dragon
game.
Con?
No, Dragon Con's a D&D kind of cosplay event.
I know they do gaming and stuff now too.
Okay. Well, there's just this one that's just board games, and it's really cool because you pay $5 and you play the game, and the winner of the table wins the game.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so it could be a $40 game, it could be a $3 game, whatever you want to play. I'm not going to play any cheap games. I'm going to play expensive games. And
why not?
My nieces and my sister and get some games real cheap.
Yeah, that's kind of. And now I'm assuming there are like new games that people haven't played yet, or it just anything.
I think it's mostly new games, and they have like their promoters there teaching you how to play. So it's like a demo.
That's almost like whenever I used to play Yu-Gi-Oh, the card game back in the day, and whenever a new expansion pack would come out, they'd have events around the country, and you'd go and you'd get your packs, and then you'd play people and get more packs, and it was all the new cards, so no one really knew what they were doing. So it actually made it kind of fun.
That's cool. Yeah. I hate deck builders.
I
mean, I'm sorry.
Well,
I
think there's a difference between a deck building game and a trading card game, isn't there? Because I thought the deck builder games where you start a new game from scratch and you build a deck.
Oh, well, you see, I consider trading card games, you're buying these cards and building the best army you can. That's how I kind of call it.
Okay.
Deck builders.
I guess it kind of is. I know there's certain games that are labeled as deck builders, but it's like you sit down and play it and you start fresh every time.
Yeah. Well, I've got some board games that are deck builder games that are kind of fun. Because it's always scratch, like you said, from scratch.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't like the games where people bring their own stuff.
Yeah, they're pre-built decks,
and if they're rich, they dominate you. So, yeah. I mean, I love tabletop games, like with models, where each model's worth so many points. But the thing is everything is the same.
Yeah.
Everybody gets 2,000 points,
and
you just don't know what the other guy's going to bring.
Yeah, there's Yu-Gi-Oh had to put a cap on how many cards you could have in your deck. Because people would bring these decks that were like this thick with like 200 cards in them because they would have multiple win strategies. And then people were like, this is insane. So I think they limited it to 75 or 50.
Sheesh.
Because people would literally bring decks that were as thick as a textbook.
Boy, Magic the Gathering, I think, is like a limit of 45?
30. Is it
30? Okay.
I think it's 30. It's been a while since I played Magic.
Magic the Gathering is the only one I really ever played, and
they came out with a online version, so I started playing that one. And I always thought Magic was like too intense and whatnot, but then when I started playing it on that, I picked up the basics and actually got into it. But I've only played it there. I did spend quite a bit of money though to get cards.
I've got some really neat giant cards I made from it, and they look dead on, and they were gigantic. I did that for my photo room for kids that liked it for senior photos.
Well, kind of cool.
I got a jester cap and a couple other things. And
well, it's like they have giant chests. You could play giant Magic the Gathering.
Yeah.
You just created a lawn game, Ed. Go pitch that to who makes Magic? I don't even remember.
Wizard.
Go. There you go. Go pitch it to them. Hello, Jessica Taylor.
I'm so old. I played the original version of it, like when it first came out. That's how old I am.
I mean, I played the original Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh. I'm that old.
Well, and I played it 3 times and said I hate this game. Well, when it first came out, you had to give if you lost, you had to deal your cards like upside down, like Old Maid, and they got to pick one card. The winner. Oh. And it's like, yeah, that's no way. If there's cards that are worth $50.
Oh yeah, some of those cards are worth insane prices.
I don't think they ever thought that any of the cards would have value. They were just going for a game.
Yeah, I'm lucky. I have some of my original Pokemon cards in a binder still, all in sleeves and whatnot. But those aren't worth as much.
While we're talking about games, since that's what everybody is here for, is the game talk. I know. My game of the week is a great family game. Everybody works together to save the world. This game I should have brought up the first week we started gaming or talking about this because it's Pandemic. This game is amazing. What you're basically doing is you're working as a team with all your friends or family members, and you get a card. I'll flip it to the other side, and you can be like each guy. There's like an ambulance driver, a tech supporter, a doctor. Everything has a different ability.
Okay.
Not an ambulance driver. That'd be terrible because you're flying all over. You'd have to drive your car to Africa. But I think there's a helicopter.
Medvac.
Yeah. Yes, there's one of those. And it's cool because they get an extra move.
Okay.
So, it's a super awesome game. You have to kill off 4 different pandemics, and if you kill them all off before the world pops, you win.
Cool.
And this is like the old antique version. My sister keeps the new and approved one because that's where we normally play with their kids. But it's really neat. I'm going to pull it out.
Yeah, do you. Hey, Prawny, welcome. I'm surprised you're awake, my dude. It is what, 5:15 over there? See if I got a time zone right this time.
See, like, all of these, are like the Asian flu. Oh,
okay. So this almost...
these are a flu that comes from this part of the country.
Okay.
And then there's like, as you can see, the blue one is across North America and Europe. There's one that's like the Middle East. That's all the black. And then there's a yellow one in Africa and South America. And, is there any? What's down in Australia? Let's see what Benny.
Like a red one.
Yep.
Or an orange one.
Benny might be lucky. No New Zealand.
So this almost looks like the mobile app Plague Inc. with the way the map is laid out.
That's kind of a knockoff of this. This is the original. It is so cool. And then like you have these cards, you flip the cards and it says where to put the sicknesses.
Okay.
Like you have these little trays. Oh, it's so much cooler. You know what? She took the cool stuff out of here.
Oh no.
She has the cool stuff in the big one. There's these neat little trays. They look like spore dishes. And they're little squares. Okay. So you have red squares, yellow, black, and blue. and you put those on there, and every time you get up to 3 squares, then it goes not berserk. It goes viral.
Okay.
And all the cities around it that are connected, and you'll see there's like lines. All those connecting routes get 1.
Okay.
And if the whole world gets covered, you're dead. We're dead.
Ah.
And it's like just a constant fight. You got some people that are just like trying to wipe it out, slow it down, and you got other people working on a cure. Let's see. Is there a city for Priscilla? Let's see what this.
I see St. Petersburg on there. Where's Priscilla again? Switzerland.
Where's Etzen? Essen. Etzen.
I have no clue.
Priscilla will know. Priscilla, your family on this game, you could save them every time you play. If they live in Etzen. Or Etzen. Something like that. I don't know why they didn't just say Munich or something.
Yeah, pick a normal one that people know how to pronounce.
Oh, Munich is there. Oh, well. So, super fun game. Definitely highly recommend this game. You can pick it up, I'm pretty sure at Target, maybe at Walmart.
I think I've seen it at Target.
But I think it's a pretty affordable game.
I Google searched pandemic, and all I get is, COVID.
Oh, yeah.
I'm assuming it's on Amazon, too. Yes, Amazon has it, the new version, for $40.
Oh.
And, of course, there's expansions for it.
35. Well, and the one new expansion is amazing. There's one good expansion.
Say, is there a COVID expansion yet?
There probably is. There's one expansion where you've got to have basically 8 people playing, and you have 2 groups of 4, and I think you're working against each other.
I was going to say, is there like a person that works as the viruses and stuff?
No, but I think you're trying to cure the virus before the other team. So I guess it's capitalism virus stuff. I don't know. But
Select Pet wants to know, or says you need to invent an aquarium game.
Sean Peck and I have kind of talked a little bit about it. So a freshwater fish game.
Okay.
And it'll be mostly all Sean Peck, because it was originally his idea, even though I had already had the idea. And then I was like, dude, that's just like my idea. And then we were explaining it to each other, and it's like, wow.
Well, now who has the 3D printer to make the models?
I don't know. He's the great painter. We'll let him
he
paint.
seems like someone that would own a 3D printer.
Yeah, I don't know if he has one. I'll have to ask him.
Yeah, I think I was in high school, I created a card game centered around a video game called Pikmin. I don't know if you've ever heard of that. It was a Nintendo game. Basically, you had these little people you picked out of the ground. They had like flowers on their heads. And in that game, you were trying to survive monsters and find pieces to your ship to rebuild it so you could fly away. So I created a card game for it. I made up all the little cards on index cards and did all the drawings and stuff by hand and created the rule set and whatnot. And I sent it to Nintendo with like a base deck and everything. And I actually got a response from them. Their legal team sent me a note back. And they basically said, due to legal reasons, they weren't able to accept my proposal.
Okay.
I was half expecting to see the game hit the shelves and me to be super pissed, but they never made it.
Oh, well. Nintendo was originally a game company.
Mm-hmm.
Or toy company, I think.
Yeah. I love that people always rank on Nintendo for having, not like the super cool action-y games and whatnot. And then I have to remind them of video game history and say, if it wasn't for Nintendo, Sony wouldn't have made the PlayStation, and Microsoft wouldn't have made the Xbox. Because they kind of revolutionized the gaming industry.
I would agree.
I've always been a Nintendo kid since I was 5? Whatever year the N64 came out.
I like the Atari better.
You can buy the Atari.
No, I don't know.
You can buy an Atari Flashback.
The Sega Genesis was probably my favorite of them all.
I think I had a Dreamcast.
It had the original Techno Bowl, which was amazing.
Okay. I think the only games I had Sonic. I had a baseball game. That was all I had for my Sega. Well, actually, it was my sister's, but.
Now, Nintendo had a baseball game called Baseball Stars, and it killed all the other baseball games. Because basically, you got to make players, you paid for their contracts, and you got to put teams up. It kept their stats for years on end. It was one of the greatest games ever for baseball.
Mm-hmm.
And they stopped selling it because nobody was buying their stupid RBI and stuff. Yeah, I mean, look at this. That's the best baseball game I ever played. You could throw a spitball. It was great. I mean, the graphics might not be super, but at that time, they were actually better than RBI. You could do curveballs, steal. You could do everything. I loved this game. And then I had a cheat code that you could type in what's not a bird, and you could have a super team.
You know, I'm kind of surprised that all these links up here selling it are like super cheap. I would have thought that these NES games would be worth more money.
How much are these?
This one's 30. This one's 15. This one's 9. Maybe they don't work.
You know, I had a battery in the cartridge, so I bet it doesn't.
Yeah, the cartridge battery. Yeah, I remember people. I think.
Can you replace those?
I think you can. It just might wipe whatever saved files is on there. Because I think the old cartridges, if I remember correctly, had a limited memory inside. And since before we had to have the booster packs and stuff to save things. So I think if the battery dies, it loses the save. Because I remember someone talking about, I think it might have been the first Pokemon games for the Game Boy, that the batteries all died at some point. Because their shelf life ran out.
Did you know I never played a Pokemon game?
Wow.
Oh, that's not true. I did the Pokemon Go.
Okay, that kind of counts.
But all those original Pokemon games, I never played one of them.
Wow. I've played all of them. I think, yes. I've played all of them at least one time. The new one, I'm kind of mad at the new one because they released the game, but now they're giving you DLCs for the game. And I'm like, that's not how Pokemon should work. Give me the full, complete game without me having to pay an extra $30 for the end game content.
Oh, yeah, that's nice.
But
I heard they did that with Spider-Man or something.
Yeah, that's just the way things are now because thank you, EA for doing that stupid stuff. Let's not give you a complete game. Let's give you a half-assed game.
Yeah.
We can
I have a friend that works for EA. Oh. He's been working there for years. He hates sports, but he's really good at programming, so they hired him. And he hates golf, but he does the Tiger Woods golfing game.
Oh, okay. I think I played one of those.
I never have.
But we can see Prawny's age with this comment. He says Wii Sports Baseball was pretty solid. Oh, Prawny.
Well, I'm trying to remember, what was the Wii? Was that the little square thing?
Yeah, the Wii was the little tiny one, and then it had the remote where you could throw the bowling ball and stuff.
Oh, the Wii.
Yeah, and
yes, I had a Wii.
And I had one of the old ones with the original strap. Now, I had no problem with it. We had my aunt and uncle over one time. We're playing bowling. What does she do? She lets go of the remote while she's throwing the ball. So the strap breaks. It goes straight into the VCR and breaks it.
Oh, well, it's better than the TV.
And then Nintendo sent out replacement straps to everybody that had the old system. Oh, Prawny, we're going to have to... Prawny put his top 3 Pokemon in chat.
My Wii got stolen.
Ooh.
During the Michael Brown riots. That was the original riots that kicked everything off, hating cops.
Oh, okay.
And St. Louis rioted a lot. And, they stole my couch, my ottoman, the frozen burritos. They stole my frozen burritos.
What?
They stole my milk out of my refrigerator. They stole my Wii. they didn't, but they forgot my 22 rifle on the kitchen table, so they got their fingerprints on that. They tried to lift my TV, but it was too heavy, but it had fingerprints all over it. It was on wheels, so they could have just wheeled it. I wish they would have taken that. That thing's. But I was so thankful they didn't. They could have been mean and hit stuff with a hammer, like my fish tanks.
That would be terrible.
Yeah, they could have hurt my cats, and they didn't hurt my cats. So I mean, there's some things to be thankful for.
Yeah, silver lining, I guess. Hello, Scott's Aquatics. Thank you for joining us. Now, Prawny put his top 3 Pokemon in the chat. And we're going to have some words here, Prawny. Because I don't see no Pikachu or Lapras on that list.
And I don't see Jigglypuff is my top.
Okay.
And then Squirtle and Charmander.
Also, you picked Clauncher? That's like from one of the worst games, Prawny. What are you doing? Come on now.
I don't even know what those things mean that you just said.
The second one's from one of the newer games, I believe.
See, I never played the game, but I watched the cartoons. Which is probably worse. I thought Magmar was cool. Now, does Charmander turn into Magmar?
Charmander turns into Charizard.
Charizard. That's
In the original, technically, Magmar didn't have an evolution. But then later games gave him a pre-evolution and an evolution.
What, become a volcano?
He kind of got super big and looked like he looked like the Heat enemy from Mega Man, whose name I can't remember. He looked like him and the evil guy from Sonic crossed.
I know what Sonic is. Mega Man.
I have no problem with Turtwig, Prawny. The top 3 with Turtwig, come on. And of course, Lapras is the Loch Ness Monster. How could you not like Nessie?
Oh, wow.
There's a reason she's on my arm. See? There.
I don't like the Loch Ness Monster. It got flippers instead of hands. It's really hard to grab people with flippers. They're just my 2 cents.
Oh, James hates Magmar, apparently.
Ah! That's all I can say.
Now, you sent me a picture of a table.
Oh,
why don't I
I've
pull
been
that
working.
Up here?
Yeah, guys. I've been working like crazy in my fish room today. And I have my poker table in the fish room now.
Nice. It's a nice, I'm assuming it's a Texas Hold'em table?
I don't know. I guess.
Might just be
I play games on it. Now,
it's a nice table for games. You got those little trays and you got cup holders.
Yep. Now, I'm actually going to be flipping it. The top is flippable, but I had cat fur all over the felt, and I didn't have time to get the cat brush or the lint brush and get the cat fur off. So I'm just left it upside down. Well, right side up.
Oops.
But it's going to be upside down, I guess. It'll be like a normal hexagon table.
Okay.
And then I will be sitting in the corner when I do my videos.
So that far corner where those 2 stands meet?
Yep.
Over
my
here.
head will be right in the middle of there.
There you go. Picture my cursor as Ed's head. That's cool.
So, yep. And I want to get one of those nifty chairs like James has, the soft ones.
Oh, yeah. One of the gaming. Does he have a gaming chair?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I have too.
Oh, man. All the cool guys have them. Mike has one too.
I got a nice headrest. I got a lumbar pillow on mine. Not going to tell you how much it costs because it makes me a little ill whenever I say it. Now, is this some of the new cholla wood you got over here in this tank?
Yes. Oh, my gosh. I wish I would have taken a photo of my newest tank. It's really neat with the cholla wood. But yeah, I've soaked
the tannins in the water.
The what?
The tannins in the water.
Yeah, and you know what? That's the tannins from 2 weeks ago.
Wow.
I soaked all these pieces of wood for over a week outside, and I've been dumping it every day.
Okay.
Until there's no more tannins. And so they were completely saturated and dropped them in. But when I originally put that wood in there, I couldn't believe how dark that water was. I mean, I have changed that water several times, 50% changes. I don't want to do too many because it's
a
shrimp tank.
Yeah.
But crazy.
Well, in this picture you can at least see to the back of the tank.
Yep, I guess.
I don't mind the tannins, but it's when I can't see through the tank is when I have a problem with it.
Well, I learned from my mistakes. On the bottom, I want to breed the shrimps in 20 longs.
Okay.
Because that's supposed to be the best footprint to be able to get the max amount of shrimp. I think they said you can get up to 500 shrimp generally in a colony of a 20 long. But I put Rob's fish in or shrimps in, 10 in each.
Mm-hmm.
And man, I see one a week maybe. You've got 10 shrimp this big.
Yeah.
In a 30-inch tank. And with plenty of things for him to hide in. I never see him. I found one dead one.
Oh.
And that was it. So and then I was so happy when I was videotaping yesterday. One of Priscilla's just walked right out on the rock.
Well, that's cool.
But I put hers in 10 gallons. Or 10-gallon tanks. And hopefully build the colony up with that.
Now, what is the profile of a 20 breeder compared to a regular 20? I've heard people say, is it more water?
Oh, I don't know if it's more water.
It's a lot shorter. It had more water in it, but I could be wrong.
I don't know. I think the 40 breeder has more water. I think the 40 breeder has 44 gallons.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking of then.
But the 20s are really shallow. But, it's perfect for me because then I've got a bad back. Okay. So I never have to hunt for fish, and they're just easier to clean for me and everything. So that's why I really like the 20 longs. Oh, she says 500 looks really good in a 20 long. That's my dream, Priscilla.
Getting to 500 is the problem, though.
Yeah. I'll be happy to get to 200, but if I get to 500, I'll be sending 200 to Priscilla for her to sell.
Anytime the only shrimp I've had die a lot on me are the ghost shrimp, and I think it's just they're so cheap, so I didn't really care much. But when they would die, I never bothered taking them out of the tank because the snails would just eat them.
Mm-hmm.
So I just left them in there.
The other shrimp will eat them too.
I think they died. I think they all died at the same time, so the other shrimp didn't have time to. But then once I looked and heard horror stories of people buying ghost shrimp at PetSmart and Petco, and them not being ghost shrimp and turning out to be a small crayfish or something, I stopped buying them. Because I guess there's a shrimp that look like ghost shrimp when they're small, but then they slowly get bigger and bigger and have actual pincers.
Oh, a prawn.
Maybe it's a freshwater prawn.
Yeah. But, one thing you got to be careful with a lot of those ghost shrimp is, for breeders, is a lot of them have worms.
Oh, yeah. I never thought of that.
You can see the worm through them.
Yeah.
Bob and I were at a pet store, and Bob wanted to buy him for his puffer because she wasn't eating anything. And so he thought live fish would work. And so he was going to buy a bunch of them. And he said, dude, you don't want these. They're filled with worms. And then he pulled one out, broke the shrimp in half, which felt sorry for the shrimp. The worm was this long. It was 3 inches long, all curled up in this little 1-inch shrimp.
Ugh.
But check out my monster orange shrimp.
Nice.
I've got 3 of these big behemoths. They're about 1.5 inches.
Wow.
Yeah, and I don't know why they're not having babies unless they're all the same sex.
It's possible.
I don't know. This one, I don't see a saddle. So they might all be boys. Priscilla, does this look like a boy? I think that's a boy. But, I guess they could all be girls and not have a boy to give them eggs.
That's very true.
So, yeah. The big ones are females. Okay. So, yeah, maybe I just have 3 monster females and I need to get some boys.
Possible.
I got those in Jamestown.
Hey, Hat Trick, welcome. Well, if anyone has a male shrimp they'd like to send Ed, he's looking. Or rather,
orange.
His lady shrimp are looking. Oh, orange, sorry.
Yeah, I mean, they're just monsters.
It looks like good size. They almost look like I bought they were called extra large Amano shrimp. I bought some of those from Aquahuna a few months ago, and they were like an inch and 3/4, 2-inch large Amano shrimp, and I'd never seen them get that big before.
Yeah, that's cool. I know Priscilla has a mono shrimp for sale.
I love them.
One of the Haley shrimp that I got from her, she didn't want to take the bags back home, so she just gave me a mess of them, and she gave me the nicest ones. She said, "Give to Bob." so he got a big bag of real pretty ones, but one of them jumped out of the tank.
Oh my!
Yeah, so I actually had a dried up, perfect little red shrimp.
Oof!
It looked like fish food.
One of my that you mentioned jumping out. One of my Pseudomogil Illuminati jumped out of the tank. I was going down there to feed them because they're in my basement. I'm trying to breed them down there, and I walk over to give them their aquarium, go up, fry food and whatnot. It jumped out of the little crack where the freaking heater is, and landed on the concrete. I'm like, "What are you doing?" I saw it out of the corner of my eye. I'm like, "Was that a fish?" But I looked down, and it's just flopping. I was able to luckily pick it up and get it back in the tank.
So these fish must eyeball the holes.
They must. I've since put cellophane or saran wrap over the hole and taped it on because I'm not having that happen again.
Well, Lucas Bretz, he has like all of his rainbows in his tank, and he has like just a barely any space between the two. And he managed to get one to jump through that little hole. And so now he keeps a towel over his tank.
Oh.
So when they jump, they hit the towel.
Well, James just said something that terrifies me. He said piranha jumping out is fun. I wouldn't even want to touch that fish. What'd you do? Take 2 nets and like scoop it back up? Or you just grab it?
Maybe you grab, those things that you pick up fish with teeth when you're fishing? You squeeze it like a pliers, but it has like a little grip. And you put it on their bottom lip to open their mouth and pull the hook out because you can't put your finger in there.
I usually just hold on as tight as I can and just get my pliers in there. But of course, I usually catch mostly trout, so it's different.
Yeah.
Sunfish have little teeth, don't they?
I think they have like little bumps.
I know they have a nice barb on their spine, though. If that thing hits you, it's painful. You gotta hold them just right so they don't flex it.
You're so right.
Now I was looking. Dan has some wild bettas I was looking at, and now the tank I'm going to put them in has the opening for the hang on the back in it. And I know in all his listings he says these are the wild variety, so they will jump. So I'm thinking, well, worst case, I can just get a piece of plexiglass or something and put it on top, or just get a whole new hood for it. Because I just have the standard hoods that come with my tanks.
Did you see how awesome these guys were? That's what he gave away in this week.
They look really. If I had a tank I could put them in, I would have entered for those because they looked really cool.
Yeah, I wish look at the price tag.
Oh yeah,
and they 5 of them.
Yeah, that's why when he said people don't know how super expensive and rare they are. I was like, I didn't even realize they were that much money.
Yeah, I didn't even look at that until afterwards. But I mean, there's some pretty neat ones.
Yeah, they look. Jesse has some that almost look like that, but it's a different kind of betta.
Well, I don't know, man. Driving all the way to Arizona during these times.
Oh yeah, I would have found somebody local-ish to Arizona to pick them up and ship them to me.
Yeah. Oh, I have a friend that lives in Phoenix. He's a chiropractor. I didn't think about that, but I was just thinking driving there because I want to go back to Carlsbad Caverns. I love that place. It's so cool. And I haven't been there since I was a kid.
Never been to Arizona.
New Mexico.
west I've gone is Texas. I went to San Antonio when I was 4, I think, so I don't even remember most of it.
Yeah, I've been in all the lower 48. Been in every state. It's kind of cool. Arizona was real cool. I almost moved there. My dad
Okay.
had to choose between two bases, and one was St. Louis and one was in Arizona. So we went on a house hunting trip, and I was going to be a freshman in high school, and I was thinking, oh man, it's going to be so hot playing football. I mean, wow. And luckily we settled in St. Louis.
Yeah, I don't do the heat, so I don't think I'd ever want to move that direction.
It was hot. But it was really cool because all the houses where we were looking at had to be stucco.
Oh.
It was like the rules had to be stucco. So, and I like stucco. My first house I bought was a stucco house. Well, it really wasn't stucco, but it was an old German house, so it was made like with concrete. So cool. I would used to live like in a German city.
Okay.
Like in high school, your foreign language you got to choose from was German.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah,
we had the basics. We had Spanish, Italian, and French. That was all we had.
Oh, wow. Well, Italian doesn't seem like a basic.
I mean, yeah. Well, I guess there was a large Italian population in Connecticut. Maybe that's why.
Yeah, we had a mess of Germans in that town. They said even in World War II, they set up like towers on both sides of the city in case they would try to do what they did to the Japanese people and rounded them all up.
People don't know that there was talk about putting Germans and Italians in camps just like we did with the Japanese population. It just didn't happen because we had so many more Italian, German Americans in the military than we did Japanese Americans. And Grumpy
it was. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
The town was Columbia, Illinois.
Okay. I was looking at Grumpy Mike's message there saying that even their ice cream is hot in Texas. And apparently Benny's Rams have ick. I'm sorry to hear that, Benny. Have you pulled them yet for an isolation tank to treat them, or are you just going to treat the whole tank?
What's their temperature? Normally Rams like to be
that's right. Rams are usually
82.
In the super high 80s, aren't they? Like, what did Dean say he keeps it at 84 or 86?
Well, 84 I think would be good, and it should kill the ick at 84.
So that would be up around like 30C then, 29, 30C.
It really put a damper on the ick. That's a bummer. I mean, they could be really stressing out, though, or something, too.
Yeah, they could.
Is there anybody chasing them in there?
I'm assuming the water parameters are fine, too. I've had ick a couple times, and I've treated for it, and I still usually end up losing fish from it.
Bummer.
I had a school of 6 black neons get it, and they were fine for like a month and a half. Then one night we had a super cold night here, and I leave my window open. The heater decided to not work, so the tank went from 78 to 64. So I'm assuming that huge drop in temperature in a short, like 8-hour span is what brought it on, because all the black neons had it the next day. So I treated with the ick meds. I turned the temperature up. Out of 6, I think 2 made it.
Oh man!
Luckily, none of the bettas got it because that was in my sorority tank.
Select Pet says it stops breeding at 86 and dies at 89. I think if you hit, it just 84 is gonna hurt it. So yeah, 86 will probably stop, and then if you throw a little X in there, it probably just puts the.
Now, I don't know if you can get this, Benny, but this is what Aquarium Co-op uses. I've used this, and I've used the API ick treatment. I have seen the same results from both. This just, for some reason, the API stuff, you have to use so much more in tanks. I'm guessing their stuff isn't as concentrated, so they have to sell you more, probably. Now, I thought this had on it to turn your temperature up. I could be wrong, though.
I'm sure you can get aquarium salt, and aquarium salt will kill it.
I think he might have Cories in the tank, though, and I think the marine salt is bad for Cories, I think.
Well, you see, I was going to say just take them out
He might also have because people always tell me to use marine salt, but all my tanks are planted.
Yeah,
And if
I
you
was
use
thinking
too much salt, it'll kill off the plants.
Yeah, I was thinking if you'd put them like in a quarantine tank or even a quarantine like 5-gallon bucket or something.
Yeah, you could do that.
But the problem is the stupid like spores or whatever they are still going to be alive in the tank, and he still has to kill them.
Yeah.
And then if depending on what type of quarries he has, that 86 might be a little hot too.
Why, yes, Zen. Ikex is made by Hikari, but not labeled Hikari because it's technically a different company, but they're the same parent company. Oh, I hear the ice cream truck.
I just heard thunder.
Okay, it does not say to turn the water up. One of them suggested turn the water up on the label, but this one does not. I just know this will turn your stuff blue, Benny. So if you use any of the ick medication, be wary of that. It will stain your tubing and whatever else you got in the tank.
And your lips.
Oh, I got it on my skin one. I got it on a shirt. It's still on my shirt after like 10 washes. It doesn't come out.
Well, you spill it and you try to lick it off your hand, and it's
like
just
an ink pack.
Mm-hmm. Gosh. Big Tank Hank is in the house. He's so cool. Oh, I think he might be
Sorry,
being asked a
someone
question.
came to the
Was
door.
it the ice cream man?
No, it was my mother asking me to play the original ice cream truck song. We'll talk
For the
about
ice
that
cream
after
man?
the stream.
Okay.
Where were we talking? Oh yeah, Aquarium
Do you guys
Solutions.
own
being
an
a
ice
car.
cream truck?
No, because we live in a smaller city, and we live on a horseshoe, so they'll come down like twice a day and just get anyone that wants ice cream. They even do soft serve from the truck now. It's kind of cool.
Oh, that is cool.
No, she was asking me to come play a song.
Oh, that's
Annie
nice.
Hoozle. Yes, Aquarium Solutions, I believe, is Hikari, but it's not the same branding. They're the same parent company, but two different companies, but the same. It's weird.
Oh, Chevy Fish is here too, and she's lurking.
Hey, Chevy. But that does then reminds me that I do have a giveaway on my last video where I did the unboxing of my Hikari stuff. So if you would like a chance to win some Vibra Bites, which I don't have the small packets, but I have a big packet here, I'm giving away some Vibra Bites on my video. And I'm also doing some on Instagram. So, just go like the post and comment on the picture of some Hikari food. Still super excited to work with them on that.
Oh, so now is Priscilla saying that new Fritz Flexic?
It's purple.
It's
interesting.
IRS, though. I don't like the IRS. But IRS purple.
I don't know. I've found that the ICX stains just as bad as the API stuff, so maybe it's just me. Doesn't turn the water as blue, though, but...
And I have been using my glass cleaner from Priscilla, which is amazing.
Cool.
Priscilla, would you like me to go get it? I can go get it and show everybody. It is awesome. I've used it on all my tanks. IRS. Wait, I think she meant it's not an IRS. I don't think the IRS does anything but tax us.
I assumed she meant iris purple, like the flower.
Oh!
But we both could be wrong. Who knows?
That totally makes sense.
Hey, Amy, thanks for stopping by. Brazil, he was asking if you wanted him to go get your glass cleaner to show him.
Yeah, the Fritz glass cleaner. It is so nice.
Oh, that's right. I forgot Fritz made. Okay. I figured it out. We'll wait till he gets back. We'll wait for him to get back. So yeah, Zen, if you don't mind posting that video, I got a little care package from Hikari last week, I think, and I did an unboxing of it. So I decided to give away some of the Vibra Bites they gave me. So if you haven't commented on that video yet, go to that so you can enter. US only though, sadly. So sorry about that. I don't think you want me to pay $5 to send you a bag of fish food. Plus, I don't think I can ship internationally anyway. Hey, it's back. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Also, I solved the mystery, Ed. She was saying it's purple, not it is purple, or iris purple. So it's purple, the color.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a lot better than the IRS. They just make my stomach. Every time I see IRS, my stomach goes. Ugh. And the Fritz. It is so cool. It works just like Windex, and I can just spray it all over the place.
I just use regular eyeglass cleaner. I'll spray it on a thing outside where there's no tanks, and then I'll just come in and wipe it down with that. Because there's no alcohol or anything in these. I don't even know what's in them. Yes, let's not talk about the IRS, Priscilla.
I don't know what's in it either. I won't drink it.
Yeah, I would not drink.
Oh, yeah, it's the stuff that you put contact solution in is supposed to give you diarrhea, I think.
No. Lovely.
Yeah. So, I mean, Windex is probably okay to drink.
Yeah, it is. Again, I don't like to spray into that stuff near the tanks. If you're going to use that stuff, do it away from your tanks. But don't spray it on the glass.
Windex is probably not good to drink.
Well, the vinegar one might be.
Oh!
They make an all-natural one with white vinegar.
I do. I have some over there, too. That stuff, too. But I put it up because now I got this, and it's so much cooler.
Yeah, I thought about getting some of that, but then I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to do what I usually do. Sometimes I'll just damp my cloth and just wipe it down with tank water. Or no one's considering drinking anything, Zen. I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know.
I feel like making a joke about drinking Clorox right now, but... So I was looking on Facebook, and someone had posted a picture asking about snails, because people think that snails eat your plants in your fish tank. And I want to say there's only like 4 species of snails that actually eat plants, most of which I think are illegal. You're going to argue this point?
I think all snails will eat your plants if the plants are dying.
Yeah, they'll eat dead, decaying plants. But people think that they like eat live plants that aren't dead. I know my mollies have eaten my plants.
Yeah. I have holes in my plants in my molly tank.
I think it was Pogostemic octopus or whatever the heck it's called. And I put it in my 10-gallon here. And the next day I looked in the tank, it's just chewed down to the root. And the only thing I ever saw near it was mollies.
Flagfish will do the same thing. Once there's no more algae to eat, then they're going to pound on anything that's soft.
Flagfish are close to mollies, aren't they? Aren't they super close species-wise or something?
I don't know. I mean, I guess they're both from... I don't think they're Facilia. They lay eggs.
Oh, okay. Maybe I'm thinking of a different fish then.
But, yeah, well, I think they're Killy family, aren't they?
Oh,
I think they're the Killy family. It's awesome. A guy that can search for things really good.
They are... Well, I'm just going to pull it up over here because I can't read any of these scientific names.
This is all I do at... like, whenever I'm sitting upstairs and we're watching TV, I constantly ask Google everything. I'm always asking questions.
So there's your taxonomy thing on the right there. They're... Cyprodontiforms? I don't know.
Jordan Durellians.
Oh, Zen says they're related to goldfish, and then she's in all caps. Who knows?
You know what? Zen's smarter than me. I'll go with that. I need to pick Priscilla's brain sometime. I have a bunch of. Well, you know what? Maybe Zen knows about moss too. Anybody here that knows about moss? Fishy Dreams sent me 3 types of moss,
Mm-hmm.
and it's really cool. She sent me the Java moss. I know what that looks like.
Okay.
It's kind of just all over the place.
Yeah.
Then she sent me Christmas moss, which I think is kind of spiky up. It grows spikes upwards like a Christmas tree.
Yeah.
And then she sent me something called Pola, P-I-L-O. Pilo? And I have no idea what that is. How would you pronounce that?
Pilo?
Oh, good. So I might have been on. I was kind of like just totally guessing.
Let's see. Can we? Okay, it kind of looks like a Christmas moss almost. I don't know.
Zen says it's a Pilo.
Pilo, like, okay. No.
Oh, that's probably how you pronounce it. Pilo.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, I don't like that sound. I prefer to call it Pilo. Sounds
it looks kind of nice. Oh, I think I've seen this before. It almost looks like a small fern when it grows.
Well, now that looks like Java moss to me.
I don't know. All mosses kind of look similar to me. I couldn't really tell much. Oh, it drapes more, she says.
Now,
there's one with shrimp on it.
This
might be, I think Detroit was talking about these one time, that he has some of this in his tanks.
Okay, let me grab something because I want to show you guys what my project is.
All right. To do. Yeah, I've got to. I have to go back into my community tank. I don't know if you guys can see it, but if you look here-ish, the algae's coming back with a vengeance.
See, I've got this little tree.
Okay.
And you're supposed to stick your moss on each one of these.
Oh, that's kind of neat.
Yeah, and I got this one. I thought it would look more like one of those African trees.
Mm-hmm.
More like than a bonsai. But I don't know. Maybe it'll look like a bonsai. I just like those giant African trees because I think they're so neat. You know, like the
cool
circle
piece of wood
tree?
Yep.
Thanks. Well, so I also have something called spiky moss. So I could put spiky moss, Christmas moss, Pilo moss, and Java moss.
Okay, the Pilo moss might make it kind of look like a weeping willow.
That would be pretty neat.
Based on how it seems to grow in.
Unless it ends up just making it look like a bush.
Well, possible.
But I could always cut it down.
Yeah. I just noticed the Java moss in my sorority tank is growing in nice again. I had to cut it all because of the moss. I had algae growing all in it. So I had to do manual removal. It seems to be coming back now. But yeah, it's a cool looking tree.
And does anybody have a suggestion of those 4 mosses?
I'm going to say the Pilo moss or Pilo, whatever it's called.
Okay.
The funky name moss.
The Pilo moss is what I'll probably go with. It's just such a cool looking thing.
Yeah, I've never seen them like that before.
Yeah, this I mean, you can kind of see how they kind of used the like putty or something.
Okay.
I don't know. I got this at Bob's LFX that he had that they didn't go under. They just got tired of working all the time.
Oh, yeah.
And the main girl was, I think she might have been a nurse or went to school to be a nurse manager or some medical manager. And her mom and dad were both doctors, so she went to work in their office. Okay. And then he was a professional welder who made a lot of money welding. So their idea was they weren't planning on getting a fish store, but it was just such a good deal they bought it. And then they found out it was like a bajillion hours.
Oh.
So they kept everything, and I think they're planning on doing it like he's really into saltwater.
Mm-hmm.
So they're going to do frags and stuff at these different shows
Okay.
across America, except, of course, this year the COVID happened, so he didn't get to do any shows. But I told him, man, anytime you do a show and need help, I mean, if Priscilla was there, I'd give her help first because she's my buddy and I already told her. But actually, I don't know. I may have offered it to Zach first, but I don't care. He has people.
He got it at Bob's local LFS hat trick. I don't know the name though, but
it was called Great Barrier Reef.
okay,
but it's closed. It's no longer. Yep. I could ask my guy though at Aquarium Aesthetics if he could get it because he's pretty good at getting everything. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I need to make a relationship with my local fish stores. I for some reason I feel like it's not going to be the same because no one in this state is personable.
Yeah. Yeah, the farther north you get, the more it is like that. Sorry.
Oh, back to snails. That's what we were talking about.
Oh yeah.
I love snails. I think they're a great part of your, overall ecosystem in your tank. They clean up the waste, they clean up the dead, decaying, whatever. But now ram's horns in particular, to me you get one and you get 50 by the end of the week. So anytime I've seen people selling them online, they're like $10 for 10, $5 for like 10 or whatever. Someone posted a picture of all the snails at their local fish store. Does anyone want to guess what they were selling one ram's horn for?
No, I'm just teasing. He told me before it started.
Anyway, this is a red ram's horn, people. The regular little red ram's horns that we all probably have if we have plants.
I literally have 1,000 of them.
Oh yeah, I just looked at my sorority. They must have had a clutch hatch because I had like 4 because I put them in there to eat, the plants and stuff. I looked over the other day and it was just a mountain of ram's horns.
Yeah, I wish I had more fish that ate them. All I have is zebra loaches.
Yeah, nothing.
And zebra loaches are hard to catch. You destroy your tank catching them. So basically, I just have 2 tanks with no snails.
Yeah.
And then a whole bunch of tanks with snails.
Oh, it took me forever to catch the algae eater out of my 20-gallon because it's the sorority tank, so it was so planted up and decored up that it was a pain. Okay, we got a couple. Chevy guessed 8, hat trick $4.99, and Amy was $9.99. I was expecting you guys to guess lower.
Amy is an avid snail buyer.
Oh, I love them.
Loves the snails.
There's a breeder in Rhode Island right next to me that I'm looking at going and picking up some snails from her. She's got these super cool purple ones. I'll pull them up here in a second. Okay, so here is...
I have purple ones.
$2.58 for one ram's horn. I can't imagine paying $2.58 for a ram's horn snail.
What's cool is if it's free shipping and handling over 100, you only have to buy 25.
That's like, I think that's the price we pay for mystery snails here. But I was just like, most people consider them a pest snail. Whenever I've seen them on eBay, it's like, here's 12 snails for like $8. I've never seen anyone try and sell them that much before.
I ended up with a bag of, I think, 10 purple mystery snails. Babies.
Oh, cool.
They're little. They're like BB size.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they were $1. I don't know what. James said that I said yes, but I don't remember saying yes to getting snails.
Oh.
But pretty much if people hand me a free bag of stuff, as long as it's not a cichlid, I take it.
Hey, Priscilla's right. That is, people do feed into puffers. And that is a lot of, that's why I think people sell them in bulk on eBay and stuff, because people will buy like 10 or 20 and then just use them as puffer food. Shai told me to feed the snails to my African cichlids.
Mm-hmm.
I threw a couple in the tank. They didn't touch them. They just let them go about their business.
Nuts.
Now,
yeah, I I had an African cichlid tank that never had any snails.
I have narites in it, and they're doing fine.
I didn't even think about throwing them. I got those retarded I have those one African cichlids that I don't like at all because they just kill each other. And yeah, I actually probably throw snails in there. I don't know.
Possible. Now here's the this is one of the snails I was looking at getting. Now I think this might be her purple one. I'm not sure. Why is there music? Oh, it's in my ear. But yeah, I thought they would look cool.
Yeah, they're neat. I don't even know what the meat looks like in those purple ones that I got. You know, if they're a white type meat or a yellow or purple or what. Oh, Sean Peck has some that are like translucent with sparkles.
Oh, wow. I've only ever seen a mystery like that before.
Yeah, they are so neat. I mean, literally, they look like blue goop that you can see through with sparkles on it.
Oh.
Or in it. Like slime.
Cool.
Yeah.
Zen, do you have Lavnia's Instagram link, or do you want me to put it in chat? I've already closed it.
Hey, Shy's here.
Hey, Shy, welcome. Glad to have you here. Pug, sorry I didn't say hello to you. Welcome.
Oh, Pugamus. Oh, you know what? Well, we got Pugamus on the line or on the hook. He just came in to say hi and left. But did you see my pug last week when I showed it on camera? It's not my pug, it's my niece's pug. But it was during Fish Room Fever Saturday show.
Okay, I was in and out.
I was having a barbecue at their house, and they got way too loud for like the first half of the stream. And I went in there and said, "Guys, let's keep it down a little." And then they got super loud at the very end, and they found out that my nephew was pregnant. Well, going to be having a baby. And they all got excited. And I was like, for crying out loud, I just told them to shut up. But, oh well. I can't say that, though, because I'm at her house eating her barbecue.
Yeah.
On her internet.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Where did I lose? Oh, no, it's right here. I'm looking for this tab about that endangered species game, and I couldn't find it.
But the first time they were getting real loud, they were talking politics. And it's like, that's the last thing I want is politics on. And it's not even my stream.
Yeah. That's one of those subjects you kind of can't talk about on streams and whatnot, unless you're like a channel that does nothing but that.
Yeah. Oh, man. Her name's Daisy. You would have loved her pug because she's a pug.
Well, I'm sure there's always the replay unless it got taken down for some reason.
For politics.
You didn't show anyone's phone number again, did you?
I don't think so.
Now, I had shared a game, I think a couple days, last week on Facebook, the endangered species game.
Yes.
And we were supposed to talk about it last week, but we got so enthralled, and I don't even remember what we were talking about. That we completely forgot. So I figured I'd pull it up here. There's a 1:30 video. I figured we can watch it together and talk about it. I thought it looked kind of cool. So let's
now, yes, it's about endangered species.
It's about protecting endangered species before they go extinct.
Oh, I thought it was like you got to taste them before they went extinct. So you're trying to get the last one, so you're the last person to eat it.
So here's the video. Hopefully you guys can hear it.
Oh, it looks three-dimensional. Forest gestation. I'm not saying that right. Oh, I think they're showing that they cut down real trees to make this game. These dice are made from rainforest trees. These cards were cut from eucalyptus trees in Australia that...
Wouldn't you be shocked they're made from hemp?
Yeah. Well, if it was hemp, that'd be pretty cool. If you don't like the game, just burn it and enjoy it.
I do think the video is kind of cool how they animated the whole thing and then just instead of just showing people play it.
Yeah. Ooh, there's Japanese things. Tigers. China would be the hard one because they like to eat all their animals, and it's actually a good thing that the Russians are protecting the Siberian tigers, or there'd be none left. Well, and like all the black rhinos are all extinct, at least in the wild. I don't know if there's. Didn't the last one just die in a park or in a zoo?
I think so. I vaguely remember hearing something a few months back about the last captive one dying.
Now, what are your opinions? If they can bring back a black rhino by having it pop out of whatever, a white rhino, what are the other rhinos called? I don't know.
I don't know. I just thought they were rhinos.
Well, I'm pretty sure the black rhino is what's extinct.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever the other rhinos that are still alive.
The gray ones? I mean, they're the gray ones, aren't there?
Well, I think they're all gray. I don't. But yeah. So, what is your opinion? Like, okay, let's go one step farther. If they can get a methadone, what are the woolly mammoth? Thank you, not a shark. A woolly mammoth out of a African elephant. Are you for that or against that?
I say no to that one just because the climate's not right for them anymore.
But we are so advanced, we can have air conditioning.
Okay. I mean, I say yes to the black rhino, but the woolly mammoth, I don't know.
I think it'd be neat to see a woolly mammoth.
I don't know. I remember watching that where they were gonna like introduce the embryo or whatever to the current whatever closest relative there are to them, but I thought they said it wouldn't be possible because the genome has changed too much. It might be easier to do the black rhino since it's a closer genome to what's currently here.
Well, I heard that, and this is all stuff you see on cable, but like America was still trying to work on it, and they were going to try to do the embryo in an Asian elephant instead of an African, which I thought was bizarre because I thought Africans are bigger.
Yeah.
But they said it connected better. But they said that the Russians are currently trying to make some type of old ancient bear come back to life. And I think one of the Nordic or the Baltic states, one of those is trying to do some giant elk that used to be alive.
Oh, what were those called? I know the elk one starts with a C.
I don't know. I think it'd be kind of cool. I think it'd be awesome if we could bring back dodos.
That would be kind of cool.
We killed the dodos. Well, actually, I think the woolly mammoths were killed by us too.
Yeah.
It wasn't necessarily because they died just in the last 300-400 years, and it was, Native Americans, I think.
The Megalosaurus. That's the giant elk.
Yeah, that'd be cool too.
Honestly, to me, it looks more like a moose.
Man, that's so cool. Oh, but I don't know if I want the Europeans to have something better than a moose. That'd be a bummer. Because right now we dominate the deer with our moose.
Yeah.
If we ever have like deer Olympics, I always thought, North America will dominate, like the tug of war, and
we do have a lot of
crashes. Yeah.
Well, the good thing about if there's a moose that's out in the wild, usually you can just drive right underneath it because they're so friggin' tall.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think somebody we knew was in northern Maine driving on a motorcycle, and a moose ran out into the middle of the road and just stood there. It was either swerve or he ducked and just went right underneath it and was fine.
Well, I know that they kill a lot of people because their legs are, if you hit them where their legs are, the upper body goes right over the hood and into the windshield.
Yeah. So. That happens a lot with deer too.
Yeah.
There was one, I think I saw a picture of someone, they were going like 80 miles an hour down the interstate. They hit the thing. It went through their windshield, and it was like it got put in a meat grinder. it just got eviscerated as it went through the windshields.
Mm.
Hey, Jesse, glad you could make it. I hope you're enjoying your statehood holiday. Why don't we have statehood holidays up here in the continental states?
I don't know. Well, they might. We just live in crappy states.
I mean, I'm one of the first 13 states. We should have a celebration when we, on the date.
One of the 13 originals. Oh, Priscilla said something to me, but I will look at that later.
Yeah, hat trick.
When
Moose
did
don't
Tennessee join the Union?
Deer don't usually move either.
June 1st.
Oh.
Oh, gone. I was hoping it'd be later in the year so I could still enjoy it. I don't know what number we were, but yeah, I don't care. I just want the day. I guess you could get July 4th off. For being part of it. You already get July 4th.
Yeah, I know. You were the 16th state, Ed.
Oh, wow. Tennessee's an old state.
1796 is when you were allowed in.
And our most popular person ever in the state is Dolly Parton. What is going on? That's terrible.
I mean, you could have a worse person as your most popular or most famous.
Well, if we've been around that long, you'd think somebody could have come from
would.
the state.
What
I mean, Missouri
Texas?
had a whole mess of good ones. Missouri had Mark Twain, Brad Pitt.
Texas was the 28th state then, and they joined the Union December 29th, 1845.
Okay, I gotta find out.
I was technically the 5th state in 1788. We must have been the 5th one to ratify the Constitution.
Oh, Davy Crockett is from Tennessee.
Okay, there you go.
Last night I was saying Davy Crockett. We should have Davy Crockett Day. Even though I think he died in Texas.
I think so, yes. Didn't he die at the Alamo?
Yeah, I think so. Texans really let me down on the Alamo.
Yeah, Zed, what were you doing that night?
But you know what? It's a really cool place to visit.
Did you visit the actual Alamo, or did you visit the John Wayne set?
No, I went to the one in San Antonio.
Oh, okay.
The real one. I didn't know there's a John Wayne one.
Yeah, people used to go to the Alamo and look for, apparently because it was such a popular movie and a popular tourist attraction, from what I was told, they left the movie set up or something. But that was years ago, so. Then it's Texas. Everyone knows that there's only one. You all are not super far away from each other. It's all your fault then. You met the Alamo fall.
Is Sam Davis the guy who came up with the whiskey that's made here? Or what's that whiskey? Gosh, the most famous whiskey of all whiskeys.
Not much of a whiskey drinker.
Oh my gosh. I'm trying to look at famous people from this state, and it's not looking too good. Who's Harry Chow?
Never heard of him.
Or Henry Chow.
I googled Tennessee whiskey, and all I got was a song.
Jack Daniels.
There you go. I was going to say, isn't it Jack Daniels?
Well, then if it's named Jack Daniels, it probably wasn't made by somebody named Sam Davis.
Sam Adams Chevy was from Boston. The only good thing to come out of Boston.
Minnie Pearl was from here. But boy, I'm not too impressed by any of these
probably
other...
got mostly country singers that are famous from Tennessee.
Pat Summitt was from here. She was the giant lady for Tennessee. Probably the greatest female basketball coach. Probably the best winning basketball coach of all time. I remember seeing her when I was a little bitty kid in Kansas City. My dad took me to the Big 8 tournament. Or the NCAA double or whatever the big tournament was.
Mm-hmm.
And they would play boy game, girl game, boy game, girl game. And it was just awesome, this tournament. And when Pat Summitt would come out, she looked like she was 7 foot tall. I was like, she's the biggest lady I've ever seen. And she was like, all of her players are smaller. And she would yell at them. And, oh, it was great. I was so impressed. And the other teams like had little guys. And I'm like, she's so cool. So I've always liked Tennessee girls basketball because of Pat Summitt.
Okay. Oh, Ed, you forgot Al Gore. He's from Tennessee.
I did not forget Al Gore. I saw that. Al
Andrew
Gore, the guy that
Jackson.
tells me to turn off air conditioning when he has like 5 of them in his mansion. Tells
Andrew
me not
Jackson.
to drive my car, but he has 2 jets.
I know, isn't it funny?
Yeah, don't tell me how to live until you live it.
Well, you got Andrew Jackson from Tennessee. That's a good one.
Andrew Jackson. Oh, the president.
Yeah.
Well, why wasn't he on this image thing?
He's right after Al Gore.
Oh, not on mine. It's Benjamin Hooks.
Oh. Huh.
And then Pat Summitt.
That's weird.
How is Andrew Jackson is there? I see him now. It didn't look. It's a terrible picture of him.
Oh, it's a horrible picture. I wouldn't be able to recognize him on that picture.
Yeah.
Looks like Scrooge.
Yeah, it does.
Oh.
Oh, well. Oh.
So, apparently Daphnia is not a vegetable like I thought it was. The green threw me off on its packaging. Zen correct me. Apparently Daphnia is a bug.
Did you eat it?
No, I was feeding it to my fish, but in my video I said that it was for herbivores.
Oh.
Because it apparently, but it's not, it's bugs. But,
Well,
why would you put green on a packaging if it's not vegetable?
I would say it's a crustacean. Because it's a water bug. But I mean, technically a lobster's a bug.
True. But yeah, the green packaging threw me off a lot on this one. Because to me, green equals, vegetarian.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Gonna have to tell them they need to change that color.
Jesse says I need to go to Petco and buy some more whiskey. That would be pretty impressive. Petco's.
Yeah, they just steal it right there in the fish tanks.
Where was I? I went to one of the pet stores and they were selling wine for your dog.
Interesting. It clearly would not be made from grapes because the last I knew, grapes can kill dogs.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what it was made out of.
It's almost like pet ice cream. Have you ever tried that pet ice cream before?
No.
It's disgusting.
It's probably made out of liver.
I'd rather have the freeze-dried astronaut ice cream.
Wait, you tried it?
Oh, yeah. I've tried my dog's biscuits before, too. We get them all natural stuff, so it tastes like a dried-up graham cracker. The ice cream is just not appealing. It's true, Jesse. Petco should sell whiskey. It does save us all a trip.
Yeah, whiskey makes me gag.
Listen, Amy is green. Green equals vegetable to me. Leave me alone.
I'm not good at drinking hard alcohol.
I like mixed drinks. There's only a couple. The only hard quote unquote I'll drink is Fireball.
Oh gosh, yeah, I don't like mint or peppermint either. Like Red Hots.
I usually do. If I'm gonna have anything, I have an Amaretto Sunrise, which is orange juice, grenadine, and amaretto. I'll have a Long Island iced tea, which is pretty much just anything you can get your hands on with a splash of Coke.
Amaretto sours are great.
They're almost the same thing, just slightly different.
Yeah, the grenadine probably just makes it a little better.
I
don't know, I've never tried that.
Jesse said you held yourself well on the drinking game. Speaking of which, is Anthony going to have another one of those?
I was, I've been drunk sick, but I think I was a whole different type of sick on that one. Because
Honestly,
I ate so much dough before I drank
oh,
all that. I ate a whole bag of these peach donuts. Oh my gosh. And then when I ate all that vodka on top of it, oh, it was so gross. But you know what? At the end, I wasn't gagging when I was drinking it. So I must have been like losing my taste buds.
yeah, that'll happen. I can honestly say I've never gotten sick from drinking. And I drank for 13 hours straight one time at my gaming convention. Basically,
Wow.
all of our teams had lost, so we all just went from the venue at like 1 in the afternoon to the bar in the hotel. I don't think we stopped drinking until like 5 or 6 in the morning.
I'm a barfer. I, I if and I'm not. I don't think I'm necessarily barfing because I'm too drunk. It's the terrible taste. I can't handle horrible tasting things in my mouth.
We all went to bed at like 7 a.m. and woke up at 11 to go over to the venue. We all woke up, we were still drunk.
Yeah.
Amy said, "Is that where the peach cobbler donut things came from?"
Yes. That was the. I wanted. I was so paranoid of getting destroyed and slobbered knockered on this thing. I went to Walmart and I was like, okay, what can I eat that will sit in my stomach and absorb as much alcohol as possible? Because I don't want to look like a maroon and drink 2 and pass out or something. Oh, I know I can handle a lot more than that. I mean, but I haven't drank in a long time, and so I was like, oh, I'll get some of those little donuts. And I wanted to get the little ones that have all that cinnamon crunchiness on it, or coconutty ones. They don't have those here, and maybe they have them somewhere in Tennessee, but they didn't have them at mine. But they had something called peach cobbler ones, and it's like,
Oh,
well, I like peaches. And after, I wish I would have got peach schnaps. I should have got something like peach schnapps. I'm just not a very good alcoholic, or not alcoholic, but drinker. But yeah, I should have got that, or I should have got a Jägermeister. But the one time I blacked out in my life was because of Jägermeister.
I like Jaeger.
I didn't even know I was drinking so much. I was in a chess game. And every move I was taking a shot, and I didn't realize it because I was thinking about this chess game. And so, it's like this. They showed me afterwards I drank half the bottle. Oh, that was horrible. And I woke up with somebody else's shirt on because I'd barfed all over mine. Like, that is not what I want to hear.
Yeah, that's never good.
So, I mean, that was early 20s, and I don't think I've gotten slobbered knockered like that.
I'm usually more of a social drinker. Unless there's other people around me drinking, I don't feel the need for a drink.
Yeah, but that was a lot of fun. And it was, and I love trivia. I mean, I absolutely love trivia. But I was getting asked questions that were so incredibly hard. I had Roe I kept somehow I don't know if he spun a die. Oh, he rolled dice.
Yes.
And I would get Roe's questions, and she was like on, give me some type of Days of Our Life. She was like, on Days of Our Life in 1985, who said, I won't marry you, Luke? What? I did not know these drama questions at all.
Yeah, I don't think I can think of a single Days of Our Life character right now.
And Jesse got all mine, and then he answered them all right. And then the only one I answered, I think, was for somebody else afterwards.
Okay.
That was aggravating. Or maybe I don't know what the deal was, but I need to rewatch that.
What subject do you like best in trivia, Ed?
Oh man. My specialty was just kind of like nonsense, random weird stuff. I used to be on a team, and we would like travel, and I had a doctor on the team. I had a magazine editor. We had a baker.
Okay.
What was my buddy? He was into video production, and then me. And they always said I was there for art because that was my major. And it's like, oh my gosh, I don't like art. But I was good at sports, and I'll tell you, my worst thing is music. If you want to ask me a trivia question, ask me a music one.
All right, Ed, I have a question for you.
Okay.
What does the DC in DC Comics stand for?
Oh, I used to know this.
I'll give you a hint. The C stands for comics.
Direct Comics? Decent? Don't remember. I used to know that.
Detective.
What is it? Oh, Detective. Yeah.
These
the old
friggin' comic book questions are so terrible. That was the only good one. The other ones are so easy.
Yeah, well, I asked somebody that night who is Professor Xavier's little brother. And I said, big bad little brother.
Is it Juggernaut?
It is. Good job.
I can't believe I remembered that.
And he has no mutant ability.
I didn't know
his
that.
ability from a magical stone.
Oh.
Yep. Crazy. But
God,
yeah.
some of these questions are just terrible.
But yeah, and then like Anthony was asking like somebody was asking questions that were like, did you look that up?
Oh, the one about the fish, right?
Yeah, he was like, how many fish were caught last year in the state of Michigan? 1,203 or something. It was like, what? Oh, man.
Jaeger does taste like Robitussin Zen, probably because it's all made from herbs and botanicals.
I think that's why I like it.
I don't know, just to me it tastes good. Doesn't taste like licorice though.
I don't think it tastes. I hate black licorice, and people always say it tastes like black licorice.
I hate black Zambuca. Tastes like black licorice.
I have no idea what that is.
It's an Italian liqueur. I like red licorice, the cherry, but I hate black.
Oh yeah,
licorice.
Red's great.
Black licorice. YouTube. Is there any other decent questions on here? Oh, I had one. Where did it go? Oh, how many films did Sean Connery play James Bond?
Ooh, that's an awesome one. My dad used to look like Sean Connery quite a bit. But I don't know. Let's just guess 8.
Ooh, close. It was 7.
Darn it! I thought about going 7. I went 9. No, too high. Let's go a little lower. And then I thought in my head, it's probably an odd number, but let's go with 8.
Now, who's the person that has the rebranding our brand account or whatever it's called that you guys hosted up last night after your stream? You know his name? Because I know James said his real name, and I've only known him by that.
Oh,
user.
Melvin.
Yeah, did Melvin say he was going to stream at 5 o'clock today?
Oh, jeepers! I have no idea.
I can't. Zen, can you go check if he's streaming? I thought I heard him say that, but I couldn't remember because I was so tired at that point.
Yeah, I was on there for a little bit, and then I went and fed the fish. And then when I came back, I think the computer was off, and I just went straight to bed. I don't know. Everything was off. So. Oh, and I also cooked a hamburger.
That's always good.
Because I hadn't had dinner, and I was really hungry.
Oh, that's a good politic question right there.
Ooh.
This one is, what are the surnames of the father-son duos who both served as U.S. president? We're looking for 2 different last names.
2 different last names.
The surnames. There's 2 different names. One is more recent and one is later on.
Oh, so like Bush.
Mm-hmm.
And
also, thank you, Jesse, for letting me know.
Middleton? I don't know. What was it?
Let's see if anyone in chat wants
Hamilton.
to guess. Well, SelectFed has the initial right.
Oh, wait. Let's go.
A and B. But he's not going to give us the answer. Or they. So apparently Melvin is live. He started streaming 11 minutes ago.
Oh, bummer. Okay, well.
So, Jesse, if you want to throw the link up, we'll end a little early and head over there.
Adams?
Yes. Adams and Bush.
Oh, and then William just put Adams at the same time. I wonder if he said it before me. Oh, well.
Oh, this one's easy. This one is who has been the longest serving monarch of the United Kingdom?
Oh, is it the Queen right now?
Yeah, Elizabeth II.
Elizabeth? Is that her name?
Yeah.
Elizabeth.
So we'll say our goodbyes a little
people.
early since Melvin's streaming, and I know we're gonna support everybody, so we'll end slightly early here. Do you want to mention anything real quick before we go off? I guess we should probably mention Project Anabantoid real quick.
Oh, yeah. Everybody, we want to do Project Anabantoid. And last night, I got sidetracked and didn't really explain it. The first thing we want to talk about is what are the categories? Photography, video, and art. Art can be anything. Dancing, carving a potato. You name it. It's an art. Just take a photo of your art and submit it. Or an audio sample of your art. Maybe it's a rap.
I would love a fish wrap.
Yeah. And but you're saying, who do I send this to? What do I do? Lefty just popped it up there, and you submit it to that email right there. And wonderful people like Lefty/Brian. What do you prefer to be called? Lefty or
Lefty.
Brian? Okay, well, I'm sorry. I call you
No,
Brian.
it's fine.
Well, I'll call you Lefty from now on. Okay, so Lefty, Zen, and does Peter help out with putting this stuff together, or is it mainly you two doing all the
It's mainly
hard
just
work?
me and Zen, but Peter helps a little with like the back end, like buying stuff. So he's sponsoring
cool.
this one.
Oh, neat. And then, Zen and Lefty, like, busted their butts last time because we didn't have any type of way to, compile everything in one area. So people submitted it on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. I don't know. Was Twitter? I don't know. But Instagram. It was all over the place. And nobody spelled Priscilla right.
Oh, it was. Zen and I were like, how many different ways can we sell Project Basilia? People were putting spaces. They were all over the place. So we did every different version we could think of to find these entries.
And they did an amazing job. You guys really did. And if you guys were right here, I'd give you guys a hug. But so it's all going to go there. You only have 10 more days to get your entries in.
That is correct.
And then it's too late.
August 31st, Jeff, until 11:59:59. Comes in at midnight. It's technically September 1st, and we can't take it.
Awesome. And so I don't know if there's anything else you wanted to say about that, but we'd love it if you would enter. We also want to thank our wonderful mods. And you know what? I can't tell who's a mod because I accidentally dropped my thing. I'm sure Zen is. There we go. Oh, Jesse's a mod.
Zen,
Jesse's
Jesse,
awesome.
Ronnie, and James, I believe. Diego, too, I think. He was here earlier.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for all the super hard work. I've been trying to limit the work. And I'm also sorry that I said the wrong word today for Zen.
Oh,
I've been trying so hard. Zen is making me a better person, but sometimes I slack. So
I think we can mention our sponsors real quick, who people who have said they were going to give us a little support with prizes for this one.
cool.
We got our first one, also a judge, Lisa from KG Tropicals. They're going to give us some extreme fish food to the winners. Guppy Guru is giving away a box of aquarium co-op stuff that's all center ground bettas. So that's kind of cool. Diego from Multiple Aquariums is doing his plant packages again. So that's neat. You and James are doing something, according to James.
Okay, I don't know what, but cool.
Rack is doing art again, so that's River Life. And then I'm going to give everyone some Vibrobites, providing you're in the United States. If you're not, we'll figure something out because we had international people last time and they still got something. So we'll take care of you.
Awesome.
But yeah,
so cool.
Jesse put the link for Melvin's stream in the chat, so why don't we all head over to there, and Ed and I will see you next week, and you can see Ed tomorrow on Fish and Fevers channel. So thank you all for coming out, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you, guys.